Oh crap, yeah, it's a trial. Trial of the century. It was OJ all along, said Makoto. True bullets! You are true victims of this crime. Locker is really high. Give me a second. No, I can't be bothered revising the case. I'll just figure it out as I go along. And besides, anything that anything I don't remember, the game will just hand-fistedly remind me anyway, so no, not this point. God, I hate this game so much.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial.
I got this in Persona.
During the class trial,
oh my God,
you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island. Oh well, who cares about this boring explanation?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's get on with it already!
Haha, so self-aware.
I don't mind starting the trial, but I don't really have a grasp of how the case played out.
Oh, you will,
You know, because I was asleep the whole time.
Classic Nagito.
Even if you do grasp it, you're just gonna confuse the heck out of us, aren't you?
But Nagito's not alone. I don't really get it either.
You're fine. Your head's empty anyway.
Empty head? Huh. What's wrong with that? Listen up. The emptier your head, the more dreams you can stuff inside it, you know?
Dreams, eh?
Anyway, we shouldn't proceed with the trial if those two can't participate in the arguments.
No, I'm not gonna do that yet.
Since he's the first witness, why don't we ask Hajime to explain the incident and the sequence of events?
Then, let's start with when we split into the hospital team and motel team because of the despair disease. The hospital team consisted of Nagito, Ibuki, and Akane, who were infected, and Mikan, Fuyuhiko, and me.
The other 5 on the motel team were myself, Gundam, Kazuichi, Chiaki, and Hyoko.
Spending the night at the hospital was prohibited, so Hajime and I had to sleep at our cottages.
I woke up at my cottage on the day the incident happened. Mikan came by to wake me up and told me that Nagito had recovered from his symptoms. We immediately headed over to the hospital, and after we confirmed his recovery, I made Mikan rest in the on-call room, since she hadn't slept all night, while I waited in the hospital lobby. And then, I saw the incoming signal light on the surveillance camera blinking before our scheduled time. When I pressed the button to turn on the monitor, what appeared on screen was a video of someone wearing a hospital gown and a hemp bag on their head.
Amazing! That's such a heart-pounding story! And then what did you do, Hajime?
I tried to stop them, of course.
Why is it when Nagito playing this game?
I rushed out of the hospital and ran to where the video was being recorded, the music venue. But it was too late. By the time I arrived, the person wearing the hemp bag on their head was already hanging from the ceiling. I thought I should tell the others right away, so I headed to the motel.
Why the motel?
Because it was close to the music venue, and unlike the hospital, at least, that's what I thought.
But I remember feeling a little relieved because not like...
We were also looking for Ibuki since she
After I rested for a bit, and then I noticed that coincidentally I ran into Fuyuhiko.
Various ways?
Don't say it like that and confuse me.
After I heard from those two that Ibuki disappeared, I had a feeling she was the person, so I immediately led them to...
But the door wouldn't open. Since we have... And when that happened...
That's the worst
we didn't just
way
find
to die.
Ibuki's
like,
body.
including all the
We also found, and not just that,
execution.
her body.
That's when we heard the body discovery announcement.
And so we decided...
When we removed the hemp bag, just as we feared.
So that's how the case played out.
Well, it's clear what the problem with this case is.
Wait, how do I know anything Hajime just said is true?
And I
Sorry,
thought,
I'm only being impartial right now. The story I just heard is clearly suspicious. Hajime, if you're the only one who saw the hanging video, and the first one to discover Ibuki, then you could be lying as much as you want right now.
the great thing about it is my friend
Why would I lie?
who normally I play him.
Obviously.
You
So
can't,
you could make us ignore
you
what
can't
might be an
defend it whenever I
inconvenient truth for
rip into
you.
it.
Do you doubt me?
I'll go. Oh, hang on, the phone. Oh, hang on, the phones are ringing. 1 minute. And we're back. Hey guys, it's Sam13. It's Niggas McCoy here, doing part 30 of my Let's Play of Danganronpa 2. Goodbye to Sam. Do you doubt
If
me?
you're not lying, I would like you to prove it. Come
on,
on, try to prove it to me. Prove you're not the killer.
There's always one guy, isn't there? Just as Kazuchi said, Nagito is the kind of guy who will just confuse us and make matters worse. Damn it, it's never explained to Nagito. I'm in trouble now thanks to that. Make your argument. Alright, okay, come on then.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
Hajime's testimony is a lie. And the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility.
Hajime's a liar?
After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously because he's the killer.
Nah,
Did
mate.
Hajime kill both of them?
Chatting.
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
What are you on about?
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony
Alright,
is a lie,
let's do this. There you go. See, look, that's proper gaming stuff there. I can see what people I have loaded, and I can read it. See, that's called bad game design, but good playing. See that? Very hard to No, it's a ladder. Yeah, step ladder. Scrap of thick paper. Thick. Not a thick paper, that's it. Movie recovery too. Kieran, are you still with me? Movie. Motel Room 2. Yeah, every time you use the picture key, it's because I'm changing onto the PS4 menu and it doesn't stream that, so... Oh gosh, I think I'm gonna take.
And the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
What do you want about?
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Oh, I'm actually really
Obviously,
lost.
because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
I'm a witch! I can't find the contradiction.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
Oh, I
That
can't
would
remember how
also
to play
be
the
a lie.
game.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault.
I don't know.
Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
This is actually kind of meaningless. I don't
I
actually
don't
know.
think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime...
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime...
the fact that the means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony.
Hajime's... And the fact that Ibuki...
That would also be.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime...
the fact that the means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony.
If Hajime's... And the fact that Ibuki...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
I don't know.
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie,
Oh, I don't really know what's going on.
the fact that Ibuki hung herself,
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie
Oh no.
means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony is
If Hajime's and the fact that Ibuki,
that would also be a
I don't think I can deny that. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
why would Hajime
Oh
lie?
no.
well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill
The fact that the means it probably is Hajime's fault.
I don't know. I don't know why it's not right though. I don't know. I don't actually. I kind of don't really know what's going on, to be honest. I don't know what he did and didn't do.
If then you could.
I don't know.
Hajime's testimony.
If Hajime's test and the fact that Ibuki,
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime kill both of them?
the fact that the bodies were imitating the movie means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie,
Oh, I'm gonna go off screen now. Hang on. I need to turn off my microphone.
she hung herself.
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that After all, Hajime's the only witness.
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because
Did Hajime
the fact that the means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony.
If Hajime's and the fact that Ibuki,
That would also.
I don't think I can. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously,
Did Hajime
the fact that the means it probably is Hajime's fault. Hajime's testimony.
If Hajime's and the fact that Ibuki hung herself,
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that. After all, Hajime's the only witness.
why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were imitating the movie. Damn it! Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also be a lie.
I don't think I can deny that possibility. After all, Hajime is the only witness.
Damn it! Hajime's testimony is clearly suspicious.
If Hajime's testimony is a lie, then the fact that Ibuki hung herself...
That would also...
I don't think I can... After all...
Why would Hajime lie?
Well, obviously, because he's the killer.
Did Hajime kill both of them?
The fact that the bodies were in the... No, that's wrong! I'm not the killer! I mean, there's no way Of course you're not!
Huh?
Before the incident, Hajime had never watched that movie. His invitation ticket is proof of that. Each person only received one ticket. Isn't that right?
Yes, no mistakes there.
Which means there's no way Hajime, or did anyone Hold on a sec!
Nagito, what do you...
Well, since we're opening with it also provide...
What warm-up?
Don't get mad. I just think warming...
What a waste of time. Now then, since we know... So this means Ibuki definitely climbed...
Yeah, I'm...
Then that seals it!
If Ibuki committed suicide...
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a...
Like I said before, it's pretty... The killer murdered Hiyoko, so all we gotta do...
Then let's ask Hajime.
I couldn't have been gone for more than 10...
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up.
That's why the killer stalled for time.
What do you...
The killer blocked the venue door.
However, if they blocked the door from the inside...
Yeah, you're absolutely... Which means, when we broke down the... If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those... And that's you two!
What the hell?
The others... Chiaki, Mikan, Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the
There's another person who doesn't have an out. Me too!
Hey! What? You're kidding, right? Please stop me...
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously...
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall!
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they looked like they had just rushed over. I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. Door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over. I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
Crap! The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside. No, that's wrong!
Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob? Like rubber, maybe?
That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness. And I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I didn't know glue. I believe it is not.
That glue was only applied to by pouring it in the gaps of the closed door. Must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left. But if you just stick them together with glue, that doesn't really matter. Because first of all, didn't that... It was so obvious.
Are you saying the drumstick, then I... Apologize to Miss Sonia! And...
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
Even quick work has limits.
Aww.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away, they must have done it earlier than that.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper.
That's right, but...
part of the wallpaper in the storage room? In the music venue storage room, there was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there?
You're right. You overlaid the... See?
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hyoko's body disappearance?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to me. But if you guys were exceptional enough to...
It's all coming together! Got it! Hyoko's body was hid.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a...
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki... However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that it...
Well, that's understandable. I mean...
So they used the baton lighting on this...
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it...
Then, the reason the wallpaper...
That's how they hid Hyoko's body.
But the killer made a mistake. And because of that...
Killer must have been in a hurry.
But going to the trap...
The crime itself would be much easier to pull. They just have to peel off that wallpaper. Then... Good point. It's about time we shed some light.
You mentioned...
Are you kidding me? You haven't...
Hey! Don't put my leg...
You're pretty noisy.
First, I don't eat moss ball. I knew it. There are... so many... Similar.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the scare. Not just that, but Hiyoko getting taped up after her.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the...
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the first place?
Based on what we know, the reason the...
The reason the killer imitated 2 of the murders from the...
Then...
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid.
What do you need? If you're going to cry and beg like...
I'm not...
I'll let you sob as much as... You want later. Just hurry up.
What a...
Oh, I see. You want me to...
And even bigger...
Look, Ibuki did that means when she was still alive.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was... That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How right. Your words are... Your opponent...
Man, he's being annoying.
First and foremost, how can a low-class creature...
Because she was doing something that's old...
It seems you suffer... You're one...
When Hiyoko died... Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence!
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that! Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood.
That is not Ibuki's blood, but it's Hiyoko.
Hiyoko's only wound was fatal.
If Ibuki...
It means Ibuki was still standing, which means Ibuki was still...
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye! Is that it?
Does that mean you have a...
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? But, are you sure? You're so frightened you can't... However, the top... You're saying the blood on Ibuki... Ibuki's feet belong... to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crimes. There was no... You can't step on blood that was never there. Just about what you see in Life's Nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belongs... Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words! That's not it. The reason there was... It's
say so?
Yes. You look closely. There's a streak on the floor with...
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's, Ibuki must have already stepped.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the... Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left...
Hyoko's body was probably... Actually, the bleeding will stop once... Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware...
Maybe the theater was...
That's right! I didn't...
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma...
Yup. Since we have all this evidence, then it's decided.
It appears that fine then. But regardless of good or evil,
Can't you just shut up and...
Now then.
Wait a sec.
Again?
Hey, if the victim actually...
The same as always. Think about it. A suicide. Unfortunately, that means...
Nagito?
Well, I mean, for example, it's possible Ibuki...
That's totally impossible!
She was afflicted by the despair...
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to fall. After Hajime saw the hanged body, the killer had to be
Then she was... When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, if she waited until Hajime left...
She hanged herself!
And if she was her body would have been defenseless in that state.
There's no doubt that someone killed those two.
What the...
There's still... If Ibuki didn't commit... According to that video you saw, then does that mean...
Forced?
I don't know anything about...
Don't say...
So, then our plan is to destroy... Since Hajime has seen the video, but just... To be sure.
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know?
what time did
I saw it at the hospital, and I saw the body at the music venue a little after.
So Ibuki hanged herself, right? And since we established that, that means the time that the murders occurred.
Then, we just... Now then, I shall issue my decree.
We can exclude the... Sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement. I was totally sleeping in my motel room!
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi!
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi has failed!
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what... about the others?
Right before the morning, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi. What about you guys? I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi...
No, that's wrong!
Hold on. Not... In fact,
You...
up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan...
We even...
Hey!
Too much in...
It's not like that!
And we went to the hospital. I get it.
If that's the case...
It's better if we think about... The killer decided to falsify the murder...
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both...
It feels...
But... Faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence... Was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying...
I feel really bad for... I think the killer had a completely different reason.
Hiya!
Stop it!
What a
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been... Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun... No! This... Everyone, do your very...
Huh. Did I confuse you?
Man...
If that's the case, if that happened,
Well, it's against the...
that rule is too harsh. Seriously, just shut up!
But I'm thinking about it again.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did?
It's not just that. About the
That's the one Hyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it... But Hyoko's... Maybe they just used a Well, that's probably it, but if falsifying the murder sequence, they should have taken steps...
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation...
What are you trying to say? Are you
I'm saying...
What?
I understand that it's not just the poor imitation.
Strange detail.
Like, for example...
So, you're saying the truth behind Hyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what!
However, this is getting quite...
Why did Hyoko go to the music venue? There's no way we'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
She was guided by the will causality!
Go to the music venue? There's no way you'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer!
No, maybe. She went of her own free will.
She was guided by the will of causality.
Why did Shoko go to the music? There's no way we'd know.
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted.
No, maybe she went of her own free will.
I agree with that. It's just as Sonia said. She was...
So,
If no one called for her,
Yoko locked herself. Back in her room because she was being over. I don't think a person like that would leave.
There's no way Yoko locked the room she was staying. If she was forcibly taken from her room,
The killer could have locked her door, right?
then they couldn't have hidden her room key. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the... At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right?
I won't move! Are you saying my gut was wrong? This could be my first and last highlight of the day. No! Shut up! Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her. Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door! So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later!
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono... There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Allow me to cut through those words! The reason Hiyoko's kimono was...
Where her kimono...
Yeah, it's also the...
Yoko seemed to be really... I believe. That is, I told her that there was a...
Then the reason...
Yeah, she went to the...
I get it.
Hajime!
Then, the killer...
Though that may not...
Though I knew she would go there.
Don't go doubting this, Sonia.
Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop!
Of course. I've already
Even if the killer couldn't predict it,
The only thing I can think of is... Cool. When she went to the venue by herself,
she was killed, so there...
it probably happened. The killer most likely had already placed the
Killed.
Because the killer used that
That's the reason they imitated the
Which means that low-down scoundrel...
Then what was the killer actually? They've been cunning this far.
Damn, you don't... You know the most...
Hey, Nagito.
Hey, how long are you... Oh, am I... I'm so...
So what do you...
I was thinking about it while I had my... Ibuki definitely didn't... I thought there might be a possibility that... But now I remember... So if she faked her death, there'd be bloody footprints. So that's why I think there's no...
You know, we already...
That's annoying. Are you freaking...
That's strange.
This is strange.
I can prove it with this! If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself... Yeah, that stepladder was...
Did you notice such a small...
But didn't you say you... Then I think... Unless there was...
I see.
But that's something only Hajime would know.
Hajime, as long as I leave this to you...
Yeah, I'll... Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Crap! Here! That's right, I remember now.
Can you
What's strange is that step... It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirt. There was a bloodstain. Right on... However, that... There weren't any bloodstains on the step...
That is truly... Really strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's...
Even so, the stepladder in the video.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance.
It's possible those two step...
Wait, are you...
But where would you find another...
In one of the step ladders...
You're suggesting... That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming has given you incredible deductions!
Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
What do you mean?
I mean, the video, it was filmed so...
But the hospital monitor is supposed to display footage captured by the music venue camera.
Then, there's a possibility that the killer...
Danganronpa.
all coming together! That's it. The killer just brought the camera from the music video. With it, they made me think it was a live feed from the venue.
Then only the
Yes, at least but when Hyoko's body appeared.
That means you should have realized he did discover the body.
Well, that's true. In order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did one... I see! The killer smashed the monitor to pieces. Destroying it. As long as it was in pieces, you wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually there or not. My attention was so focused on the body.
And the moment Hajime left the music...
And they destroyed it and left...
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere.
Despite Kazuichi's desperate
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital.
Filmed at the hospital's conference room.
Huh?
But the hospital and the...
That's exactly why the killer did something.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
Or did they make some kind of set?
Damn it!
There's no way to find the music venue.
Which place was it? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue...
Or did they make some kind of set?
He might have tampered with the camera.
I still can't believe he mixed up the filming. Hajime, you're pretty stupid. There's no way the conference room and the music venue...
Which place resembled the... Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the That must be it!
What the killer did was, Make the music venue the crime scene. Look. Like the conference. They did that by using the black curtain.
From what I remember, it somehow became a place.
That's right! It's...
Oh yeah? Well, your face looks stupid!
And I'm back. Hear me? Can you hear me?
That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like the conference room?
In actuality, even though it is a black light blocking curtain that's long enough.
I see. The same color as the... So the killer chose the conference room.
Matching floors, matching curtains. I guess it makes sense you'd mistake the two.
But that's not all. There should be something else the killer did to tamper with the evidence. Probably.
Probably. I like how the focus bar is here. Let's use it. Don't you know anything about tampering? Huh? Don't you know anything about tampering? God, put the mix brown tentacle in the mix. It has to be baked in it. It has to be baked. It has to be baked. Just do anything about tampering.
I can prove it with this! You're referring to the candle in the music video.
Just the light of
In the video I saw, the music venue has good light.
But wouldn't that might have been another reason, but the lighting in the conference room and the music venue are so different. They couldn't be used during filming.
I want to see a jagged one below, David. That fan out must exist somewhere. I didn't kill her, I swear. Larry just doing up close thingy like okay.
That's why the killer used a candle as film lighting instead.
What a film what a bad lighting, you are a film shoot, am I right? Oh wait.
Which means... Are you saying the candle in the music venue wasn't actually used?
That candle was likely placed there just...
With candlelight, you can't see things in that much detail. With that cheap-ass camera, it won't capture much in a dark area.
As long as this all matches up, it should be no problem to say this is decided. The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue.
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was altered, we would've... But it appears the killer already covered that up.
But there's no mistake. That's the only place within the connection range of the...
The motel would have been too far, and the interior design of the movie theater is too distinct.
But this must be a surprising turn of events for Hajime. You never suspected that the video you saw in the hospital was being filmed in the conference room.
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime, it's occurring in the conference room.
Don't you? No, never mind.
If Ibuki's hanging video with... It's filmed at the
Bayside Park.
hospital's
conference room? Then was Ibuki killed at the conference?
No, that's not right after Hajime saw that video.
No. What man about? Hey, you're phony. Man, I love a
I see!
very good man.
The person wearing the hint bag in that video wasn't Ibuki.
Larry, for God's sake, did you kill Hiyoko? What you talking about? You nuts? You crazy? You crazy? Come on, what's wrong with you? You nuts? Did they kill Hiyoko? What's the matter with you? Larry, what is the matter with you? I might have killed her. I might have killed her. Larry! Oh, come on, it was Hiyoko. I love Coke. You four-eyed fuck. No race face. No race face.
It was... The killer put on a hospital gown.
By that time, the real Ibuki must have already been killed.
The actual time of death must have been earlier.
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill...
But why did the killer go to the trouble of making a fake video just so Hajime could go to the crime scene?
The reason the killer made a fake video. There's only one possibility I can think of. If I examine that
He wanted to be
possibility
YouTube
thoroughly,
famous.
then naturally the killer's identity will reveal itself.
You fiend! Are you...
Sorry, I missed that. Let's go. Oh crap, hang on. Oh, I really don't know.
You're the only one! Like I said, aren't you the killer who murdered Ibuki and Hiyoko?
Hey, a chick like her as the killer?
She's right! A clumsy slowpoke like...
But we're the only ones. Thanks to that video, we're the only ones...
An alibi?
Now that you mention it,
It's just...
But you're the only one who could have filmed that video. Is that also a... At that time, you said you were going to be on call with me. That's when you put on a hospital gown that you prepared in. By doing that, you made up a video that showed Ibuki trying to hang herself at the music video. And showed that to me.
Ooh. Right now it's really cool. So I've got my earphones with microphone in them, but they're plugged into my PS4 controller. So the sound is all coming through these earphones. So like a TV is not making any sound. So I just listen to everything through my earphones. But they did not plug into the TV. They from the controller, so it's really handy. So I can play in silence, but also, yeah.
Furthermore, I saw that video at the hospital lobby. If someone wants to go to the conference room from out...
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital...
not only that,
So
That's impossible!
it's not literally impossible. Can't you give a better defense than that? Just shows she can't even
That's
do
an
that.
unbelievably benign face for somebody who's saying being
Hey.
vicious.
You sure this...
Wrong! Just like Akane said.
I agree. It is truly
That slow-witted remark.
It's in a tournament for social punching bag. Even how many times do I have to tap?
What do
Do you still believe this?
Do you hate me that much, Hajime?
Hey, Hajime!
Side, logic side, is she really capable of something like this? Is this game over? Have I made the wrong choice and saved?
Can you hold on a minute?
No, for God's sakes.
Well, I know I'm being intrusive. I missed all of the critical parts, and I doubt I have anything worth saying at an important time like this.
Me at every work meeting.
What are you saying?
But still, I thought it was suspicious. All investigating with a suspect in mind creates a different result than investigating with no leads.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Well, thanks to that, I was able to discover a truth that nobody else knows. I've been so focused on everybody else this trip.
You better not have kept quiet on purpose.
Actually, this is a game.
Please don't say such controversial statements. Well,
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a small, decisive clue that points.
Is it a small, decisive arrow pointing to the real killer? That'd be funny.
Hey, that's a huge deal!
decisive.
Let's take a look. Regarding the rope, this rope was supplied by...
Again with the supermarket?
If they got it at the supermarket,
What's wrong?
I want you to take a close look near the middle of the rope. But why is it like this? And the part of the rope that hung from the baton...
Hey, you're taking too long.
It means... Well... The killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck. The center of the rope is frayed because that...
Hold on. I've been listening to you for a while. What exactly did you say?
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Just like this case's killer.
More importantly, what was all that about the rope?
And then...
How is that a decisive clue?
Huh? You didn't notice it? I thought I made the decisive...
Do all the first letters of every sentence spell out the killer? Oh my god, it was...
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too.
Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie? The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same. Though hanging and straight, the scars they leave would look different too. Scars? You mean the rope?
But we believed it was from a hang. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
That must be it! So that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time.
Oh my god.
You said Ibuki hanged herself. You told us the... wrong cause of...
You should have been able to tell the difference. You, me.
First of all, that's why you were right.
But even a drunk medical...
I'm not taking her side or anything, but
He's totally right.
Mikon nursed me till I got better.
Don't you think her devotion to nursing...
Huh?
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious. It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly followed Mikon
So Mikon volunteered to...
that's a little...
I'm not a criminal.
You've got it all wrong.
I'm sorry, but there's no way I can forgive you. I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Forgiveness or...
Well, if that's the choice ever... But is that really okay?
You're friggin' annoying! If you keep talking, I'm...
There's...
Stop it!
I can't... I don't want to do this either. But I need you... That's not it.
What the hell?
I do doubt her. 'Cause
Don't say deep stuff.
if you want to believe in someone, you need belief without doubt.
Fine.
Huh? So justifying your actions with... It's not fair.
Why won't you forgive me? What did I do?
Is acting like this your plus? To be honest.
If we don't have any clip, I'm the same, but still, that's why we gotta stick with this until the very end. Hey, Mikon, if you're not the killer, can you prove it?
Wait! Treating me like that's why does everybody...
Is it?
But the only one who can find the hope, so...
Oh, come on.
Why do you get to decide I'm free?
Oh, be quiet, Karen. I see that blood on the soul. I see that.
Not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikon clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'll be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof?
So I'm assuming it's something in the video which only the killer and me, Hajime, could have known. So we go to the video.
Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already! Hajime, pay close attention and look. Listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake. I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown? Or could it be the hospital?
Ibuki and Mikan.
Is that really? You could tell her body just from that There's no way you'd be so please Hajime, pay close.
You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
Oh, what?
Damn it!
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that.
Is the handbag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
I'm not sure.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could.
Yeah, so, like,
To film that video.
Is the handbag on her? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and...
It's the gown.
Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
What do I have? I'm not sure, Kieran. I would appreciate a thing.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different...
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Damn it! I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Is the hemp bag on her head the proof?
Just the hemp
Is
bag.
the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Nikon clearly have different body...
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight? There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type!
Oh,
So
Kieran,
please
really not
forgive
sure.
me already! Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I don't know, mate. I don't know what, I know what to say, basically, but I don't know how to say it. So should I use that? Do I use the killer's mistake, or should I stick with evidence?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Is the hemp bag up? Is the hospital gown? Or could it be the hospital?
Ibuki and Nikon...
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital just from that video, just from that camera, and just from that dim candle. There's no way you'd be able to make...
Yeah, okay, right. Shitty game, shitty game.
Danganronpa.
It's stuff like this that makes it really annoying, because it's like, it's not worth it. It's just frustrating to get to the point. It's not really solving any of the problems this attorney has.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed
I
that.
didn't though.
Is the hemp bag up? Is the
Obviously.
hospital gown? Or could it be the hospital?
Ibuki and Nikon...
Is that really? You could tell her body just from that cam, just from that dip. There's no way you'd be so please Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
What?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Is the hemp bag up? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slip?
Ibuki and Nikon...
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
I'll shoot through that contradiction.
Yeah, no, it's just
Nikon, you've committed a major mistake.
You know what I mean. It's putting the gaps together. But yeah, cheers.
Mistake?
As I said before many times.
You get me, right?
But so how to say anything about the camera angle?
The only reason Nikon is because you're the person who actually filmed that video.
This is your just reward. You lied. Is it true, Mikon?
That's naughty.
I mean, you know that hemp bag Ibuki was... Ding!
What the heck's wrong with...
That tote bag.
How do you know so much?
More importantly, Hajime saw it too, didn't you? Whoopsie! Ta-da! So don't you using one tote bag in both the conference room? It's blatantly obvious that's why that video isn't fabricated. So you'll
Taking your stubbornness.
Then you're gonna forgive me?
Oh, for goodness sake. Good. I read this in your voice, Kieran, and it makes it 10 times more frustrating. I'll go away. It's funny because I can't remember how to play the first bit.
I'll keep explaining it until you... Will you forgive me? You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. You're done for!
That is how to fire them, actually. Okay.
Forgive me! Why only me? You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. You're done for! Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me? You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want.
don't know what I'm doing, really.
Forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. You're done for! Forgive me! Forgive me! There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time.
What? What? I don't know what it's doing. Okay. You say something.
What's wrong with that?
Thanks, kid.
But I never... So
Yeah,
how can
yeah,
you
it's
say
good.
anything about the... Only...
I don't know. Yeah, exactly, yeah. You see Mon Ami in the background.
You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want.
Don't you know what I'm doing?
Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. You're done for! Forgive me! Forgive me! Why only me? You still haven't forgiven me? I'll do anything you want. Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Why only me? Please, draw on me. Can you forgive me already? Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me. Do you understand? Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. Can you forgive me already? I'll do anything you want. There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at this...
This is the end! Monokuma mentioned... Whoever bought that bag should have received it, which means it's not impossible. So please. It seems...
Why does everybody...
Nikon, after I go over your crime from the beginning, please just admit it already.
Who? You just manga. So since this is a manga, you have to read it from like left, but since it's the American adaptation, you have to read it from left to right. They're clever like that.
everything that happened in this case. The key to this incident is the surveillance camera video that only I saw. That's why I'm going to start with that to unravel the knots of this crime. When I went to the hospital with Mikon this morning, I noticed a specific thing in the lobby. The incoming signal light on the surveillance monitor was blinking ahead of the scheduled time. When I switched on the monitor, a person wearing a hospital gown and a bat... That surveillance camera unit was designed for two-way communication with... That's why I thought the signal originated from... But that was the killer's... In truth, that video, the killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance. And then, they filmed that video in the hospital conference room. By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident was happening in real time. When in fact, the crime had already been committed by then. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a face. I didn't know that. So I went to the music venue and found the hanged body wearing a bag on its head. Seeing the body before me, but that was all. After cleaning the conference room, and as if they were switching, began working on their last trick. First, the killer peeled off the wallpaper covering one of the stage pillars, revealing Hyoko's body.
I would if I could, but I don't want to be too loud because sleep still. Kieran, can we take like a 10-minute break after we finish this up between the next game, just so I can
when I first arrived and saw the hanged body, I didn't notice it. I didn't expect it to be slightly larger from the wallpaper. Next, after destroying the surveillance camera, the killer, when they brought it, they wanted to hide the fact that the camera... In the end, the killer, they broke one of the drumsticks from the store. However, they did this to... In actuality, the reason the killer sealed the door with glue, an intention. With that, the killer... They helped us force open the music venue door. And they made us discover not just Ibuki. At the time, they pretended that inside, they were probably relieved.
Oh, that's nice. Flat line.
Isn't that right, Mikon?
Whoa!
This feeling. This feeling. Mikon! Whoa!
Jackpot.
It seems your arguments have reached the... Now then, please cool will be... Lads. Well now. Correct.
Danganronpa would have been quite interesting to have like a Wii port because of like the shooting mechanics. And it's quite simple, so it would have been quite good actually.
I won't forgive you.
Hey!
What's going on?
Hey! Well, that's all. Hey.
What?
What?
Oh.
It cannot be.
Perhaps See?
That's not really fair though, because you can't really help it.
Jeez. Isn't that right? Possible.
Oh?
Huh?
What I did.
Huh? Huh?
My beloved, never, they forgave me, they gave me, they love, I love them with misses.
What the hell are you on about? What are you on about?
It's love.
Hey.
So now you've got hope, despair, and love. It's the Holy Trinity, innit?
Well... how amazing. Could it be?
This is... But... such despair. Don't fuck with me! You ser-
Japanese word for eat your hamburgers, Hajime.
Hey. This is bad.
This isn't a comic book. This is a Japanese manga.
I am.
Hey.
Oh?
Of course!
Oh? That is... Oh?
I'm glad I missed Mikam's pool.
Well... Do you understand?
Hey. Hey, hey! Damn it!
Oh?
Yes, indeed. Now then, I prepared.
So it's really... Now I can go to my... I can find... Please forgive me.
Let's give it every.
The real punishment is playing this game. The thing that I liked about the old Monokuma animation was that he came onto the stage with one of his coloured side, like his white side, and he left in like his evil dark side or something. So it's like a nice like funny duality. It's like Mission Impossible 6. What the fuck? Oh my god. Did this rocket leave? Oh, that's amazing. Wow. Okay. This is awful. Thanks for making me watch that.
Let me ask.
What's the team leader guy when he comes back from hospital? Did she at least die a dignified death? Larry. No, not really, no.
Damn it.
I don't know that touch anywhere. Larry David.
But...
well, we need to write and make, like, a visual novel, like, game maker, Curb and Romper.
Isn't that right?
Please wait!
Kevin Spacey. Literally Kevin Spacey.
Damn it!
Wrong! Come on!
You fiend.
Phew! Hey! Hey! Huh? Hey!
So just as I thought. However...
Fine.
Supreme.
Silence.
Right?
Alright!
Uh-oh! Unbelievable.
Hey!
No way!
Uh-oh.
What's this?
Is he a cyborg? Right, I'm gonna save here. Before you meet Cyborg Nekomari. Right, I'm gonna end the stream. But I'll send you a link for a new one in a second, yeah? Right. And then I'll do my duo guys. It'll probably be like 15-10 minutes, okay? Cool. Right, I'll see you in a bit.